Just outside the bustling downtown area on the other side of the French Broad River, West Asheville features its unique charm. So join us for this map tour, and if you're new here, consider yourself lucky because you've hit the West Asheville information jackpot. So here we are, headed into West Asheville. How do we get there? Well, here we have our little itsy bitsy downtown right there. And so there's lots of ways to get to West Asheville. So you can go out on Patton Avenue, you can go on 240 this way, because West Asheville really encompasses this whole area depending on who you're asking. So you can get on 240, you can go out Patton Avenue. You can go down on Amboy Road, you can get to it by 40 coming up and under, lots of different ways. Now here's an interesting little fact about West Asheville in general. So you see how there is a divide here between, all of this is considered West Asheville, but 240 kind of splits in the middle. So there's a little bit of a controversy on where is East West Asheville and where is West West Asheville because people make that distinction. So I decided to ask my Facebook friends. I said, what is the cutoff between Ewa, which is what they call it, and Wawa, which sounds really silly, but it is what they call it. So between East West Asheville and West West Asheville, and nobody knows. So we're just kind of going for it. I think it's kind of where that 240 divide is. And really the distinction is when you live in East West Asheville, you have direct access to West Asheville and Haywood Road, which is this gray line that goes right here and goes and then takes a sharp left, goes over the river, and guess what it hits? The River Arts District and downtown. So if you lived in East West Asheville, you have the benefit of my favorite word, a twofer, because you have access and walkability for the most part to all of Haywood Road and West Asheville, but also the River Arts District and downtown. So it's a 2-for-1, which is awesome. So let's dive a little deeper and take it part by part. I'm going to start at the beginning of Haywood Road, coming over the bridge, because this is really where Haywood Road starts, coming from downtown into West Asheville. And there's a lot of wonderful things along this road and little homes, you know, that occupy this whole area. And you have the French Broad River right there. Now, that's not necessarily where you're going to put in and take out on the French Broad River, so don't expect that. But still, you have it right there. And you're going to be close to music venues as well. So we're not going to cover the rad just because that's not what we're doing in this video. But when you cross over, there's the burger bar right there, which is kind of like a hole in the wall, which is super fun to go to. If you want to slam some PBRs, that's a great place to do it and have some colorful conversations with characters. So as you're crossing over here, you're going to see the Beloved Street Pantry, which helps people experiencing houselessness. You're going to come up here, and it will start bringing you up to the heart of West Asheville. Businesses. I took a drive here the other day just to see how many new businesses has popped up in this area, and it's absolutely unbelievable. You have Whole Donuts, and look at all the little homes around here. You know, there's some that have a lot of space, and there's some that do not. And we're going to show you later on a new development in this area that is so super convenient to every single thing in West Asheville and the River Arts District. You're not going to believe it. You're going to be like, give me a spot. So, but that'll be a little later when I go through the homes. If you are thinking about moving to Asheville, then shoot us a text, give us a call, and we'll be glad to help you with your search. And if you want to learn more about Asheville in general, hit subscribe and click that little bell. So if we follow that Haywood Road all the way up, you're going to start seeing more and more things once we get to the top. So here we have Taco Billy. Everybody loves that taco joint. We have some yoga up here, Short Street Cakes. And these are all going to be like little homes on smaller footprints mostly. Mostly from the 1920s and 1930s, going to be in the kind of that arts and crafts style. You'll notice once we get up to the top here, Haywood Road is going to take a sharp left. If you go to the right, you're going to go and you're going to go back towards the river. There are some homes there that have river views and kind of look out over and sharp inclines. And then right here, this is kind of a big intersection where we have the muffler services, which is not really like I don't think is an operation. If it is, apologies. But there's like vintage pop-up shops that come and set up for the weekend there. And then here you have a brewery already right at the top. So this is coming up a big hill. And then once we take that left onto Haywood Road, you're really going to see the businesses start. So there's going to be a mix of old businesses, iconic West Asheville businesses with new ones. So here's already going to be a salon, the Iru Prana Listening Room, which is a music venue for conscious music. They don't serve alcohol, which I think is really cool because that's so different than the rest of the vibe from the breweries in Asheville. And then you are going along Haywood Road. And I want to do a little bit of a different view here so we can see really what we're looking at because it's a lot more interesting. So once we take that left and zoom in a little bit more, you'll also see a lot of these roads here have names of states. And like I said, I went the other day and I did a little drive-by so that you can have a bird's eye view from what it looks like from the road. But here is a breakfast spot. Battle Cat Coffee Bar is really popular. And you have to remember, West Asheville has had somewhat of a sordid past in a sense. Like they used to call it Worst Asheville back in the day. It just wasn't a place that you really wanted to go or felt necessarily easy breezy being there. And it's transformed through the years. For some people that's good, for some people that's not so good. But it's really transformed into this hipster kind of place with lots of coffee shops and music venues. Here you'll see the Admiral. This is a place back in the day when I was a single lady I would like to go, and they put on some records and we dance into the night, and it was just so cool and so fun. They also had a great chef there. I don't know if they still do, and like really like kind of grungy dining options with incredible food. Here we have Harvest Records, which is an iconic record store in Asheville, and then Touch of Glass. If you're into glasswork in any way, that is going to be another place that you'll frequent often. And then as we're making our way down Haywood Road, we are seeing that we're getting ready to hit 240, but right before we do that, we have Early Girl Eatery, and then another gift shop, and then this really old school, almost vintage looking, not by this point, pharmacy right on the corner, and here's a school right there. Now there is talk that some of this area could be impacted by the expansion of 240. I'm not sure when that project is happening, but if you are looking in that area, that could be something to consider. There is information online about that as well. So as we're going through on Haywood across the way, there's a Quick Stop, and you know what's so Asheville about this Quick Stop is they also sell like fairy oil and some organic products and things like that. And then you'll find Fleetwood's here. So Fleetwood's is a venue. It's also a vintage clothing store, and it's also a wedding venue. So you can go there and get married at a concert or whatnot. We have a great picture of that as well. So along Haywood Road, you're going to find a really cool mix of just amenities that you'll need for everyday living, and then entertainment options. So you're gonna have those restaurants like Haywood Common, but you're also gonna have like an insurance agency next door to One World Brewing West. So One World Brewing West is a concert venue pretty much. So it's a brewery, but also right behind it, they have like this open air part where it feels like a little mini music festival that can happen in the summertime. We were so excited to find it when we first came back to Asheville after COVID because it was somewhere we could be with the kids that was outside and felt safe. But also because it was outside in a neighborhood, the shows ended at like 9 or 10, and we were like, okay, cool, we can handle that. Let's take the kids home. So in a Haywood Road, you'll find veterinarians. Here's a little tasty diner. There's great milkshakes right there. And then this is an estate sale company right here. And then we have different lounges. Things have changed throughout the years. Here's one of the most popular breakfast places called the Sunny Point Cafe. And people line up down the road to get their breakfast. It is well known in Asheville. So yeah, there's the Sunny Point. And continuing down the road, we have Standard Pizza Company. And then the names of the streets start becoming state names, like Nevada, and here's State Street. You'll start noticing Louisiana Avenue. And here in West Asheville, the big hub for where you would do your grocery shopping is Ingalls. So it's not, it is pronounced Ingalls. A lot of people get that confused. But yes, so this is the Wingles because it is in West Asheville. And it's a normal grocery store. They have some organic options, but it's not a Whole Foods, and Whole Foods is not super far away. I mean, you have to keep in mind, you're not too far away from downtown where there's Trader Joe's and Whole Foods and all the things. This is one of my favorite little shopping center areas in West Asheville, right next to Ingalls. There's a new restaurant here called Batiwala. It's owned by the same people that own Chai Pani downtown, which we've all heard about from the James Beard Award and the award-winning chef that started that. Well, this is a lunch place pretty much. And they have Indian street food type of options with a Western twist, but the flavors are amazing. And then there's Urban Dharma right there, which is a Buddhist temple and meditation area. There's also a yoga place back there. This is just a really cool little spot. And then as we continue down, we have Dobra Tea West, which is a tea house, and there's teas from all over the world. We have Instant Karma, which is kind of like a little hippie store. In the back, they have a tarot card reader, which I may or may not have seen a couple times. And then we have Biscuit Head. Have you ever heard of Biscuit Head? That's on every list of places to go when you visit Asheville. And this is another place where they have people lining up on the road waiting to get into Biscuit Head. They have good biscuits, I have heard. I think we've eaten there once or twice. It's a place that we take people when we have guests that come into town. So heading down a little bit more, here's another coffee shop. Here's the brew pump. Now here's something cool about the brew pump. You see this? This is a gas station. It's like a Shell station by the looks of it. But it also has a brewery in there and features rainbows. They can produce their own rainbows, just kidding. So this gas station has a brewery in the gas station or beside the gas station. And on Halloween and places and times like that, there will be spontaneous dance parties that erupt in the parking lot of this gas station. It is like the coolest, hippest gas station you could imagine. And there'll be like bliss mobs or dance parties happening right there, and everybody's driving by and hooting and hollering and having a great time. So Haywood Road continues out this way. It gets a little bit less dense with attractions at that point. Kind of stops at the Universal Joint, which is another place where you can eat outside and kind of watch the world go by. They have a really good Reuben sandwich, if I remember correctly. Heading down Haywood Road some more, you'll have 103.3 Asheville FM. I've done an interview with them before, a really cool local radio station. And then what you'll find is if we head down, we've got a church, we have the library there. There's going to be the auditorium, the Odd, which is coming up. That's a really like kind of cool bar venue place. And they have great shows there. Firestorm Books, keeping it alive with the bookstore. Izzy's Coffee House, another staple we all know and love in Asheville. If you want to get a good feeling for if you like West Asheville, go hang out at Izzy's Coffee House. Listen to some people talking. See what they're saying. See what they're about. There's a massage center. There is Leo's House of Thirst for very thirsty people, but it's also really cool. It's a wine bar. It has a really nice look on the outside too, and looks like it has some really nice food in there too. And then guess what we have? An Aldi. So this is great for some hipsters that want to save some money and get some organic food. And I'm going to zoom out a little bit here so that you can see what we're dealing with. So here is Patton Avenue. And Patton Avenue goes all the way downtown. So here we go. So that's where we just were. All the way along Haywood Road, just like this. We just took you on a journey all the way down Haywood Road. Now we're hitting Patton Avenue, which could take you right back downtown. Okay, so here we are looking back at West Asheville as a whole in consideration to Asheville. So we have 40 that goes across the bottom, 240 that goes up and over, and then we have I-26, which goes up and through up into Woodfin and Weaverville. So when we're looking at West Asheville, we're just really talking about the French Broad River over here, which is Patton Avenue, down here, and then back. This is all of West Asheville, pretty much the place that's highlighted in white. Now, what would it be like to live in West Asheville? That's what a lot of people want to know, and that's kind of what we're doing here. So we want to show you what it looks like in consideration to different places that you could live when considering living in West Asheville. Now, the majority of the people that I work with and help move to the area, they really think of West Asheville and they think about they want to be able to be really accessible to Haywood Road, which is that gray area right along there. And when you are accessible to Haywood Road, you're going to be accessible to all the restaurants and the coffee shops and the music venues and everything that kind of makes West Asheville a fun place to live. But there's different parts to West Asheville too. I mean, if you look down here, there's going to be Mavern Hills Park is over here. We have Hominy Creek Greenway. So there's a greenway that runs up through here. So this bottom left-hand corner, is going to be pretty much residential. And then you're going to have Patton Avenue on that side. So the closer to Patton Avenue, the more road noise you're going to get. So just keep that in mind. And as you go up in this area, there's going to be some housing density. Like there's not going to be large lot sizes. So if you're moving and you want a really big yard, look how closely these homes are to one another. That's probably not going to be your cup of tea. But what you do get by living in West Asheville is that you're going to get that sense of community. You're going to be walking and talking with neighbors and friends. You are going to have easy access to being at a restaurant in 5 minutes or being downtown by car in 5 minutes. But you're not going to have a huge yard space, which depending on your preference, hey, that could be great for you. So let's look at a couple of examples of what it might look like if you were to buy a home here. Now, we are just entering 2024, so here's a home for sale that is just gone contingent on the market. This is 75 Galax Avenue, so this is going to be part of West Asheville. And it's really a unique home, 4-bed, 3-bath, 2,200 square feet at $750 listing price. We don't know what it went for because it's not closed yet, but how adorable is that? So these are the kind of homes that you could get in West Asheville. Now this one has been updated, so the price is going to reflect that. But again, it's going to be really centrally located. And I want to show you where a home like this would be on the map. So if we scroll down a little bit here, we can see that this is going to be in the bottom left-hand side of West Asheville. So this would be West Asheville on the other side of 240. Now what's nice about this location is that you have access to Haywood Road, which is right up here, but you also have access to Amboy Road. And there's something about Amboy Road that is a large amenity for people who want to live in Asheville, and we'll get to that in just a minute. Now here, let's look at another house that's for sale, kind of in the same area. And this is on the market right now at $595, 3 bedrooms, 2 baths, 1,200 square feet, not as big. And what's the thing that you notice about this home? Not much of a yard at all. So there's not a lot to maintain, but you're not going to have a lot of running ground. You're not going to be at home a lot anyway because you're out and about doing fun things in West Asheville. This is a modern new build. It looks really flat and square from the front, but you can see because it's on a hill, it extends down and it has really nice lighting throughout. So if you want to see where this one is, I really love this modern style. If you want to see where this one is, I believe it's really similar in proximity to where the other one was. I'm going to zoom out. So both of those houses were located in this area, which is awesome because, hint, hint, here in West Asheville, you also have a bit of nature. So beyond having that Haywood Road with all the cool, fun, hip stuff, there is Carrier Park. And what does Carrier Park have? Carrier Park it runs along the French Broad River, so it's already gorgeous. There's like yoga in the park there. There is a ring that goes all the way around Carrier Park. Let's change that so hopefully we can get a really good idea of what it looks like. So you park over here. Where's the parking lot? You park over here in the parking lot. There's like a baseball field right there. And then there's this ring that goes all the way around the park. There's a playground and all kinds of stuff. So what's fun about Carrier Park is you can ride a bike, you can run, you can roller skate all the way around this. Our kids love to take their bike and just ride and ride. And it's not a small one either. I don't really know exactly how big it is, but it's not tiny. There is open green space. There's been some music festivals out there as well. Big playground, obviously a basketball court, and what's called the Melodrome. And then they have fun roller skating parties there too. So how cool is that? And then there is the French Broad River Greenway, which extends, you can see here, goes all the way through. And then here is the park, which is all the way along the river, and it's so fun. See, there's even coffee bars along here and like little river cabins. They just built this. There's a cultivate climbing place here, so you can go indoor rock climbing. There's a dog park. So here is the French Broad River Park, which is a dog-friendly park where you can put in the river. Look how gorgeous that is. And there's a lot of dog lovers. So here the Greenway keeps going. Here's another dog park, French Broad River Dog Park. So that is one of the wonderful things about living in that part of West Asheville, is that you have easy access to that huge park. So the other thing about West Asheville, and a place that I really think is intriguing, is this area, the east-west part of West Asheville, because you have easy access to the River Arts District downtown. You can just hop, skip, and a jump over to the Great Eagle and see a show, or go to Whole Donuts, or go to 12 Bones and get some great barbecue. But also you're right there on Haywood Road too. And it's easy access to get kind of anywhere because you have 240 really close. There's a new subdivision, which is interesting, called West Side Walk, that was just developed in the east-west side of Asheville, which is the main emphasis of West Side Walk is kind of sustainable living, like compact, dense urban dwelling that's close to everything, that has a low footprint and is easy to maintain. And that's kind of what it looks like. There is a home for sale there now, which we'll look at. So there's only 6 homes in this little development, 3 bedrooms. They all have 3 bedrooms, 2.5 baths, 1,400 square feet. Here's one for sale that I found on the market for $5.99, so we don't know what it went for, but they're all going to be the same, and this is kind of what they look like inside. So you'll get to know your neighbors well, but there's no yard to maintain pretty much. But they're all really modern and beautiful, great new construction inside. Looks like they have fireplaces. So that's one way to get in the heart of the action in a single detached family home for not a ton of money. And I'll show you where this is on the map too. So here we go. This is where the West Side Walk is located. So look how close you are to Haywood Road, and then look how close you are to the River Arts District, and then you're really close to 240. It's just in the middle of everything fabulous. If we're looking at schools in West Asheville, you have lots of different choices, from private to charter to public schools. There's a lot of options. So if we're looking at all of West Asheville, you can consider all these. Francis Delaney is a charter school. We have the Peak Academy, which is world renowned. Look it up. It's awesome. We also have Hall Fletcher Elementary School. There is the Rainbow School, which is a private school in West Asheville. Now, some people consider part of, on the other side of Patton, West Asheville. It's debatable. Look into that too. If you're ever looking for more information on schools, you can look at niche.com or greatschools.com for ratings, but this is pretty much our options there. So one of the major concerns that people think about when they're moving to Asheville is like, what's the traffic going to be like? A lot of people who have moved from other areas are very concerned about this. So right now it's about 4:15 on a Thursday afternoon, and here's what we're looking at traffic wise. We see a little bit of congestion right up here. This is right near downtown. People get stopped up there. Coming over this bridge on 240, there's a lot of people who are looking around not paying attention, but right now it's looking green. And then if you look in West Asheville, there's just not a lot of action happening. So once you go over that bridge and you kind of get on 240 and go around there, there's going to be some congestion, but the rest is pretty green and free flowing. And like I said, there's lots of different ways to get to West Asheville. You can go over on Haywood Road from the River Arts District. You can go out on Patton Avenue. You can dip in from the southern side on Amboy Road. There's a million ways to get there. It's easily accessible, and a million ways to get out depending on where you are going. And then you can also travel by bike too, like we talked about. Like there are greenways that go all the way, through Carrier Park, all the way up into downtown. I mean, one of the beautiful things about living in Asheville is that the city really cares about the greenways and being able to make it somewhat bikeable. So if you look here are all the paths that have been developed specifically for bikes. And you can bike all the way downtown. If you look downtown, there's lots of different ways to get there by bike with bike lanes. West Asheville is just one of the wonderful places to live in Asheville. If you want to learn more, watch this video and hit subscribe. Ciao for now.